Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be breaking down the information that has been provided to us by Scopely that Limit Break 3 is on the way real soon. I'm going to be breaking down all the info that we've got, and then I'm going to be giving my thoughts on that information afterwards. Let's get into the news. And we'll read through the information. It says Limit Break 3 and the Inner Circle. Hello survivors, in the interest of transparency, we wanted to pull the curtain back on our plans for Limit Break 3. Limit Break 3 will be coming in October before Halloween. Along with Limit Break 3, we're also happy to announce a new endgame feature releasing alongside Limit Break 3, the Inner Circle. So reading through the Limit Break 3 information, it says Limit Break 3 is coming next month and we're very excited. As usual with Limit Breaks, Limit Break 3 will unlock 15 additional fighter levels along with another set of new grade 5 triple plus abilities for all gold mythic fighters. Additionally, this Limit Break will unlock the final level of aesthetics progression for your gold mythic fighters. Each one of your existing fighters will gain improvements to their outfits, so get ready to see their best looks yet. And there is a graphic provided with Rick, who finally does get that hat that we do see in his main art in game. And this is something that a lot of people saw from the beginning. I think pretty much every character has that like one thing. Like if you look at Mythic Connor, he has like a flag that sticks out the back of his backpack. Also, Mythic Michonne 2000 gets like the extra arms where her arms will effectively split in half. Characters should look a lot more like their art on the left-hand side of their profile on the right-hand side once they do hit that Limit Break 3. Now there is some information on the Inner Circle, and it says once you have unlocked one grade 5 triple plus fighter of each role, the Inner Circle will unlock. Now all those roles of course will be tank, damage, medic, support and control. If you have someone completely maxed out at Limit Break 3 in all three of those, that's what it's saying. It wasn't the Inner Circle would actually unlock. And you can see in this screenshot, the Inner Circle is an all new update to the Lieutenant system, which will allow you to take your roster to a whole new level of power. And the Inner Circle is unlocked in this one, and you can see extra characters are being added in after we've got one character of each role maxed out at Limit Break 3. This is 6 characters that have been updated to Limit Break 3 and are in the Inner Circle for this example roster. It does go on to say, upon reaching grade 5 triple plus with a tank, damage, medic, support and control fighter, they will become one of your trusted lieutenants and be added to your Inner Circle. Once unlocked, you can add additional gold mythic fighters to your Inner Circle by reaching grade 5 triple plus with another gold mythic fighter. Each time a new gold mythic fighter is added to your Inner Circle, an additional 15 levels will be added to your level cap for that specific lieutenant's role. This means that each and every new fighter added to your Inner Circle will add power to all fighters of that role within your roster. Even that pesky gold mythic Carl finally has a use. Well, I have got some, negative feelings about this personally, mainly because of how the bit store was introduced, but I'll get to that a little later in the video. Impacts on future gameplay. Hopefully there's something that's got impacts on current gameplay as well. So you're likely wondering what impacts this will have on the future. First, we're happy to announce that there will be no limit breaks coming your way in 2022. With the release of the Inner Circle, we believe that this is a more fun and meaningful way for you to continue your progression without the need for additional limit breaks. Next, we wanted to provide transparency around the future of Mythic Trials. Future trials will require grade 5 triple plus fighters to unlock all required copies of Mythic Trial exclusive fighters. Remember that if you are unable to complete a trial its first time around, that trial will return in the future. You will only need grade 5 of each fighter in the trial to obtain the first edition version of that fighter, but to reach its full potential, the rest of the allegiance will need to be at their max grade first. It finishes by saying, lastly, we are working on a new way for you to be able to make use of fighters that don't normally make it into your competitive PvP teams in an upcoming feature Challenge Run. This will give you even more to do with the characters that you reach grade 5 triple plus with. This feature will be going into public beta in the next few weeks. You can expect more information about Challenge Run closer to the start of the beta. That's all for now. Keep this information in mind over the next coming months as you manage your roster. Best TWD RTS team. So this is obviously quite interesting. I can give my personal thoughts on this. I personally think this is extremely rushed. Obviously, I don't think I've seen anyone say, like, give thumbs up that this is like good timing or anything. This seems to be really rushed out. transparency on stuff is great, but they haven't actually given the transparency of why it's being rushed. That's the real transparency. Not we're giving you transparency on when we're actually releasing it. We knew we were going to release it. We knew Limit Break 3 was coming. It's no surprise that Limit Break 3 is coming. It's just a surprise that it's coming so early, and it doesn't make any sense. So transparency over that would be much more important, I think, for most people to understand why it's being rushed this quickly. Why is it coming out within a month of Limit Break 2? You know, it doesn't make any sense. The gap between Limit Break 1 and Limit Break 2, even some people there were like, wow, this is quite quick. And I was kind of borderline. I thought it was reasonable. 3 months, I think it was pretty reasonable. But I kind of hoped the next one was going to be longer. I kind of hoped the timing of Christmas was good in that it would be pushed to next year. And we might get Limit Break 3 in like January or February. We're just about 6 months into the Mythic era, and they're using terminology like endgame. This isn't good for eras, especially historically when it comes to how they deal with eras in terms of just shutting them down and starting new ones. This is really bad, honestly, from my perspective, and I haven't really got this negative feeling about RTS and, you know, an era, and except like maybe January or February in the S-Class era this year, because I knew you could sense that it was the end game of this, and it's kind of feeling like exactly the same situation for Mythic within the first 6 months. It doesn't make any sense. The amount of characters that you require to get this done, the amount of money that it requires, just straight up for promos, everything is just insane. Like we're still in like the first couple of weeks of Mythic in terms of how much they're giving these characters out. Select Recruits odds have not changed since the first week of Mythic's release. None of the basic wheels have changed how easily you can get these gold Mythics. 2 and 3% is just not enough when you need 5. And then I think they recently did change the wheel when it comes to promos. I think it went up to like 0.75% for the drop, but the pity pulls is what most people look at. The drop rate is just completely random. I myself have done 200 pulls and got nothing before, and anything under 1% means that could easily be you any day of the week. So I think there definitely needs to be massive changes, and that's why this being rushed without those changes coming in first for Limit Break 2, which already required this to happen, it's just big question marks from myself personally, and I think from most people that I've seen talk about this, just a lot of question marks are like, why is this being rushed out? It looks like they're moving on to like the next thing, the next feature. Obviously we hear the memes and jokes about like the next era Z-Class Mythics, like they did with S-Class. I personally don't think that's actually going to happen, but it feels like it's in the same situation. It feels like they're creating this bad situation for themselves, and I think it's just shooting themselves in the foot a lot of the time when they do this stuff. It's kind of just stupid, in my opinion. From my perspective, it's like they don't use the resources that they have at their hands. Surely they've got players council they can just talk to that can probably just say, yeah, it's a bit too quick. They can talk to anyone. They could talk to anyone who's been playing the game for a long time. They could even just put out a poll like, how long do you think we should wait until Limit Break 3 comes out? I can guess that like no one would really say a month. You know, no one would say a month. It's just not going to be the thing. So yeah, unfortunately, this is the way it's going to go. This is a dictatorship after all. We don't really get much of a say. And with recent polls, you know, that I've seen on the Discord, where we had a question put to us by Players Council, where it says, do you feel heard? 379 people said no, and 24 people said yes. I think that in itself should surely just spell out that maybe you're not talking to your community enough. Maybe you're not getting the feelings of your community and kind of like seeing where everything's at. Personally, as someone who has a community, I can hear and I listen to them all the time. And I know though their views are not being listened to. I know my viewers are not being listened to at all, because you're not doing anything that's creating the atmosphere and environment that these players kind of want. They kind of crave. And it's been years. It's been years. Like, let's be honest, this isn't new. This isn't a brand new thing. So if you want to deliver transparency on why this is having to happen so quick. That's the real question. Why is this happening so quick? Why are you not talking to your community on how quickly they actually want to see Limit Break 3 to come out? Now, I know there are a lot of people who are going to be just genuinely negative about Limit Break 3 coming out whenever it's going to come out. But this is obvious. This is obvious that massive parts of the community, and you should be able to gauge which members of your community are the ones that are going to give you the truthful answers, not just negative about everything. People who have balanced responses are the ones you should probably be listening to the most. And I have yet to see any positive response about Limit Break 3 coming out. All I'm seeing is multiple people saying, I've only got 2 people at Limit Break 1. Not even let alone no one at Limit Break 2. None of the rewards have been upgraded when it comes to gold medals. The bit shop is a massive, massive failure, which I'm going to have to do like a separate video out because it's become a massive failure now, where we're going to be requiring 5 characters. We can't sell the excess characters until we get 5, which is 3% odds chance to get them on the good wheels. That's crazy. Everything is just so messed up. The economy in this game is just completely obliterated, and this is just pushing it like you need more of what we already don't get enough of. Come on, man. This isn't rocket science. This is like the most obvious thing that's just messed up here. And if I see something that's messed up, you know how I've always been. I always call it out. So that's pretty much my personal request, and the request I see of a lot of people is just basically, hopefully there's actual real transparency that comes out. Hopefully, you know, I mean, it's like a broken record at this point, but hopefully start actually speaking to the community. But yeah, I think the next few weeks are going to be very telling. The kind of content I'm going to be releasing. You know, personally, I don't think this is going to disadvantage me too much because I do grind heavy. But I know other people don't, and this is going to have such an adverse effect on such a massive amount of the community. I am a community player. I am someone who genuinely looks out for my community on YouTube, and honestly the wider community. As much as a lot of people don't like me, I don't care. I'm going to look out for their interests, and this is not in their interest. This is too quick. They need to fix so many other things first before they enforce extra things on top. That's just pretty much my opinion on it all. I know some of you guys have probably got opinions too. If you want to leave them down in the comments, whether it's positive or negative, leave them down in the comments, guys. I never remove comments. Just try to be productive with your comments. I don't want to see any terms of service breaking comments. That stuff just instantly gets deleted by YouTube. I don't even have to do anything. So try and keep it on point. That is the end of my video though, guys. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.